G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's guys, we are doing the snake room update for November 2024. After this video guys, if you have not seen the lizard room, feel free to go and check it out afterwards. Right now we're going to look at all my little serpents, plus a couple goannas who are also housed in this room. For today's video guys, we'll start with Willow and Diablo, who are my two brown tree snakes. Both snakes are housed in a 70cm enclosure. In each enclosure, they do have a background that has a hide incorporated into it. They've both got fake plants, branches, hides, wood walls, aspen bedding as the substrate. On Willow's enclosure, her hay pad's to the right hand side, Diablo's is on the left hand side. In addition, from the last reptile room guys with Willow's enclosure, we did incorporate this little fake rock stack on top of her platform as a digital hiding place. Now it is quite secure. I have tested to make sure it can't be toppled over. And so far, Willow has been using it, which is great. Speaking of Willow, she is just currently sitting out on this ledge today. I will not disturb her, as if I do, she will start arcing up and striking in defense. And last thing I want is for her to keep striking at the glass and hurting her little face. She's getting a bit better with handling. Just got to get her to eat again, which has been probably the more painful part than her being a nuisance. Her partner in crime, or her, neighbour, is Diablo. Polar opposite to Miss Willow, is a very friendly brown tree snake that will happily eat out of your hands. He will never bite you, and he's always very pleasant to handle. When he was a youngster, he did earn the name Diablo, but since he's grown up, he's far from the devil. So he's actually pretty much a teddy bear. So, can't complain about him. He's eating just fine, and he's actually quite a curvy brown tree snake compared to Willow, and he's quite long. But as you can see, both snakes are quite happy. Below them, we've got two children pythons. Well, one's a blind spotted python, the other is a children python. Both snakes are menaces in their own right. Caesar, who's the male blind spotted python, just here we'll start off with. He's not doing too bad. Just currently in his favourite hiding spot today. Oh, there's his head. So you get to see his little face, and now he's hiding it. He's eating more regularly now, and he still has the attitude of a bear, so got to be careful with him. He's housed in a 60cm enclosure, so 2-foot enclosure. In his enclosure, we've got his substrate, 3 places for him to hide. He does have a heat pad on the left-hand side, a water bowl, his fake plants, a backing that he shares with his, friend, which is Valentino, who we'll get to in a moment. And he shares a light strip with pretty much half this room. Speaking of Valentino, he's actually the first baby snake I ever hatched out here in the reptile room. So we kept him for that reason. He is a bit of a menace. He is friendly, however, he's a very food-motivated little snake. So every time he sees my big fat fingers, he thinks, oh yeah, that's a nice mouse to chow down on, and he mistakes that for food. He's getting some size, still got a bit of growing to do, and I do believe he's a boy, but saying that he is a child to my two breeders, who are Emma Zula, who we'll see later on in the video. He's doing fantastic. He's also housed in a 60cm enclosure. Very similar setup to, Caesar. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it also branches in Caesar's enclosure. With Valentino, pretty much similar. Got the substrate, a couple of places for them to hide, branches, water well, fake plant, heat pad. Same stuff, just a bit different, which is no trouble there. Lock it back up so we don't lose this naughty little snake. Go down below to the bottom shelf here, we have Rosu. Now Rosu here is my little rich salmona. He's actually doing quite well. He's been smashing food, still getting used to being handled, but saying that he's becoming more and more confident as each moment goes by. He's housed in a 120cm enclosure, so 4-foot enclosure. In its enclosure, we do have sand as the substrate. Got a fake rock stack. All this is insulation foam board cut up into rocks, effectively. Add some tile pointing, a bit of paint, and that's it. That's all it is, really. It's nice and light, so if he does end up moving it, it's not going to squish him. Do have a couple of fake plants in here to decorate his enclosure, his branches. He's got his hide over there. That hide over there is filled with damp sand, so he can have a bit of a dig around in that. He's got his water bowl, plus his heat and his UVB right above him. That is a cheeky little goanna for you. To the next wall now, and to the very top of the, shelving, we have Charles. Now Charles here's my albino dark carpet python. Freshly shed her skin the other day, so she's looking very beautiful for this video. She's housed in a 90 centimeter enclosure, so 3 foot, doing exceptionally well, smashing food. Still has a bit of a temper, but that's Charles for you, being an albino. It is a hit and miss with this species. You get some friendly ones, and you might get a slightly defensive individual, but saying that, we still love her, and she's doing great. In her enclosure, we do have her aspen bedding as a substrate, 2 hides, a vine. We've got a backing, her hammock that she loves to sit on, her heat, and a light strip that runs through her enclosure. And in the corner, we've got a water bowl. In this 1 meter enclosure, so just over 3 foot, we have 2 more children pythons, Aaron and Sinkers. Now these 2 are both female, so there's no chance of them breeding. Before we get to the actual girls themselves, let's talk about the enclosure for a little bit. So yet again, we've got the substrate, multiple hiding places for these girls to go to. There's a couple underneath the heat, and a few more on the cooler side. So we've got a couple of proper hides over this side, a couple of fake plants, the heating element, the light strip that runs pretty much through the whole room effectively. Water bowl. Now this is another fake rock stack, very similar to Rosu's, just a bit more taller and a bit more work involved. And there's at least 3 places here for them to curl up into, which is where Snickers is currently at. Both girls have been eating very well, loving life, just not really sharing the love, I guess. So this one here is Snickers, very beautiful little children python. And then in this side here, we've got a cage mate, Aaron. Both girls are doing just fine. Nothing too crazy to report. Just them doing their thing. Don't you think about biting me there, Snickers? I saw what you were doing. How you think I'm food? Yeah. So they're quite friendly, so I can always pull these guys out whenever I want. And they don't seem to mind to be bonded with. Some of my animals we have in the family, I like to give them little titles, such as Dusty, the Looney Tune, Akko the Diva. This one here we give the title to of Giant, or Big Friendly Giant in some cases. Here we have Chris. Now Chris here is my black-headed python. She's probably pushing, if the hide wants to move out of the way, there we are. She's probably pushing at least 8 foot in length, so nearly 2.5 meters or around that mark. When there's no food, she's such a gentle snake, but if you have food, she becomes a very different animal. So Chris here will be coming up to, I think, 7 years of age in December. So she's grown quite a lot since we've had her. Now Chris here's housed in a 6 foot enclosure, so 180 centimeters. Her enclosure, we've got the bedding yet again. 2 monster hides in here for her to curl up into, like she was doing just a second ago before I rudely woken her up. Got her water bowl. We've got her branch that she will use from time to time. Display light, headlight the other end, a backing, and a fake plant just to give the enclosure a bit more, I guess, a character. We'll put this hide back and we'll move on. The very next character we've got in the reptile room, we've got Ray. Almost said Rosie then. Ray, he's my Rosenberg monitor. He's doing exceptionally well. He took a wiener rat this morning, so he says currently just sitting underneath his heat light, digesting. Handling wise, he is getting better. However, he still has his moments, but we are slowly getting there. He's getting to the point now where I can at least pat him on his back, and he won't turn around straight away to bite me. He will start hissing and give me those warnings, but I do take those warnings quite seriously because he has bitten me in the past, and it's not fun. Other than that, he's doing well. He's also housed in a 6 foot enclosure, so another 180 centimeter. In the enclosure, I've got a couple of one hide in here for him, since he's too big for the others. Got his rocks that he's sitting on, just to help with keeping him warm, as his heat sets above him. A couple of fake plants in here that he's just destroyed. A backing that he's destroyed. A hammock that he's actually started using for once. Got his branch that he's not really using at all. He's got his water bowl. I should add something else in here, but to be honest, he might need an upgrade first before I add stuff to his new house, I guess. Other than that, he's doing fine. On the other side, on this bottom shelf, we've got a couple more children pythons. Technically, we've got 2 blonde-spotted pythons in this cage here. Then my breeding pair of children pythons in this enclosure here. We'll start with the blonde-spotted pythons, who are named Superstar and Graham. They're my 2 older snakes in the family. Superstar will be turning 15 this month, and Graham will be 15 next month. So these are quite well-aged little snakies. Let's have a look at them. So Graham here is this one here. She started eating just after the reptile room update for October. And Superstar, he just started eating quite recently. The first time ever this year she went off food during winter in the 15 years, or 14 years I should say, that I've had her. Funny enough, it was a quail that she took instead of a rat. But both girls are doing very well, very placid. I'll be honest, if I had friends and family over that are petrified of snakes, these are usually my go-to snakes to pull out and at least try and help them with their fear. I have no issues with these girls whatsoever. And yeah, they've been quite good. Now Superstar's coming out to either trying to give me some love or just to cause a bit of trouble. Which one is it going to be today, Superstar? Just some love. Okay. So these two girls are housed in a 90 centimeter enclosure. In the enclosure, we've got the substrate, 3 hides for them to go into. They like to share that one together. Got a branch in here for them to climb on. They kind of don't use it, to be honest. A rock, a fake plant, a bit of wood. They're backing heat and normal light to display the enclosure. And we also got the water bowl at the front here. Close this, and we'll go to the neighbours. Now, before I get into this enclosure, just be careful with Emma. He is a bit defensive of his girlfriend. However, I think they might have a bit of a domestic because they're not in the same hide together. There's Emma. Now, Emma, he's my male. So he is actually the dad to Valentino. Now, this is his 4th year with Azula, so he's been quite good. And like I said, I don't know if I just said it, but he just shed his skin. Looking fantastic. And his beautiful girlfriend, she is due to lay any day now. So when this video goes up, it'll probably be around the same time she should be laying. So let's hope she does lay by then. She's looking quite sorry for herself. This is Azula. She's a beautiful girl. As you can see, all her eggs are kind of up and around here. So I don't want to disturb her too much. Of course, you don't want to spook them while they're kind of in that zone, or at least in that period where they're going to lay. So I'm gently going to put this hide back and leave these two loverbirds together. They house an 80 centimeter enclosure. In the enclosure, got the substrate, water bowl, a nest box that Azul doesn't use, so I have to put sphagnum moss in the other hide. Probably because that's where the heat pad is, so she wants to lay there. Put a bit of paper towel underneath her just in case she moves all that sphagnum moss to the side. Got a fake plant, 3 proper hides in here, a background, and a UV light, sorry, not UV, a normal light strip to display their enclosure. The next enclosure we are going to cover off are my 2 central car pythons, Chappie and Orchid, who are housed in a 4-foot enclosure, so 120 centimeters. I'll just move this water bowl out of the way so we can get to these beautiful snakes. Orchid's doing quite well, smashing food, and gives me a headache when I do feed them. Chappie was going alright for a period of time there, where he was eating constantly, but since then he's gone off food yet again. So hopefully I can get him eating again soon. Here they are. So Chappie here is the one with blue eyes, and his girlfriend Orchid has green eyes, but you can't see that because she's decided to take off. But as you see, both snakes actually fit quite well underneath this hide together. I'll put this back, and hopefully Orchid can tuck her head back underneath. And there you go. So both snakes doing fine. Gently move this back so I can put the water bowl back. Uh-oh, I think Orchid is not happy. Oh well, you get that with snakes, or with pets, even people. So in the enclosure, we've got the substrate, 2 big hides for them to hide into, a couple of branches from the perch on. They've got the heat on the left hand side, which is just there. I had to lock the door, that's why I had it close up. We've got the fake plants and just a normal light on top to display them. However, I am thinking of moving these 2 snakes onto the top shelf because my 2 diamond pythons up here, Atrium and Aelia, for some reason just don't like being up tall. I guess since it's warmer. So I might switch these 2 enclosures around when I have free time. That way we can keep these guys or both pairs happy. So over here we've got Aelia. He's looking quite dark, so I'm not too sure if he's going into a shed or as he's getting older he's just fading his colour. He used to be a bright yellow snake, but now he's becoming more black and white, or black and gold I should say. But it doesn't matter, he's still a handsome boy, and let him do his thing, I guess. His cage mate, Atrium, likes to hide over here, so just gently pull this out, lift it up, where we can see the lad. Hey buddy, just a bit of a shaky camera. He's doing quite well. He missed a couple of feeds recently, but he's back on food again. Sometimes they kind of just do that on their own. We'll put this down, push him back if he wants to go underneath. There we go, buddy. So these guys are also housed in a 127 enclosure, so 4 foot in the enclosure itself. Got the acid bedding, so substrate, 3 hides. We do have branches from the sit on, heating, UVB, a water bowl, and a backing. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.